Okay, Deadlock might actually be the best stalling sentinel in the game and will probably be very, very meta in rank. So here is how to play her properly before everybody else knows how to. So firstly, let's go over the abilities, what they do, and how to use them properly. Starting with her C, equip a gravnet grenade, fire to throw, alt fire to lob the grenade underhand. The gravnet detonates upon landing, forcing any enemies caught within to crouch and move slowly. So it's kind of similar to how KO uses his flashes with the lob and the left click long throw. This grenade is probably one of the most difficult abilities to use correctly, as it isn't anything insanely OP. But if used correctly, it can be stupidly good. Imagine a team trying to rush something fast, and then you just throw a grenade, and now they're fucking blob peeking the angle like snails. If you walk out of the radius of the grenade as well, you will move even slower than you normally do crouching. So you can think of it similarly as kind of like a fade suck. It is impossible to get out of as well if you get hit by it. So it's very, very good. The grenade is really nice to combo with the race nade, breach aftershock, etc. as you get a lot of damage on the opponents before they can even move out of it. So use that to your advantage. You can, for example, use it on Lotus like this, where you throw it at the start of the round, A main, to stall them or even to do some damage. Now, onto her most OP ability and signature ability that is free. It's her E called Barrier Mesh. Now, what Barrier Mesh is, let me explain. Equip a Barrier Mesh disc, fire to throw forward. Upon landing, the disc generates the barriers from the origin point that block character movement. This is basically just a sage wall, but it's harder to destroy and more annoying to deal with. The barrier mesh can be shot through, and also abilities can be thrown through it. However, abilities that don't go through it are as following. You have Sky's Dog, you have Sky's Ultimate, Gecko Wingman, is Land Shark, aka Thrash. Your TP cannot go through it, and your clone cannot go through it. Now, what is broken is that it's immediately reinforced with 1000 HP. So it's kind of similar to how the Sage Wall worked back in the beta. So basically, if you want to destroy the whole thing, you have to waste all of your bullets to get it from 1k to 0 HP. Now the reserve magazine size is down. However, if you simply want to break one of the 4 walls, you can just destroy one of the little orbs. These have significantly less HP, so this is good if you just want to get through to one point. This wall is especially stupidly annoying to deal with when you're on light buys or pistol rounds, as you'll probably just sit there shooting at it for like 15 seconds and it's still not broken after you finish shooting at it. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably asking, can you wall boost with it like a Sage boost, Grim Wall? Well, we tested that, and well, you can see for yourself. So no, not really. You can't really wall boost with it, but you can wall surf though. So maybe you can find out something cool what to do with that. Now, how do you utilize the wall correctly? Well, this wall has a lot more stall potential than a Sage Wall. You can throw it on choke points where enemies have to cross in order to get to the sides. Or if you want to be especially annoying, you can use it for post plants to stall your enemies for long amounts of time. However, you can't use this wall to cover a defuse, so be careful with it, as you can just shoot straight through it. Another really good use case is if you want to gain map control or cut off points of entry. Sort of like what Sage Walls at the start of the round can be used for. This is really good as it lasts a little longer than a Sage Wall as far as I remember. So gain that map control, little bros. Now onto the ability I think will be kind of the worst in the kit is her Q. Equip a sonic sensor, fire to deploy. The sensor monitors an area for enemies making a sound. It concusses that area if footsteps, weapons fire, or significant noises are heard. This is gonna work similar to a Cypher Trip. However, it can stun multiple people if they are in the zone. The stun zone is similar to the width of Split Heaven on A side. So basically, whenever someone makes a walking sound or shoots it, it will stun that entire area. It goes invisible to the enemies after a couple of seconds. However, you will see it if you walk close enough. It also makes a sound, so you'll be able to figure out kind of where it is and then destroy it if you want to. While it reminds of a Cypher Trip, I don't think it'll be that good to stop lurks, as you can pretty much just shift walk through it and it will not be detected. However, I think it has a good use case if you place it at choke points where the enemies like to rush in fast. Sort of like bind A short or, for example, split B main, as then enemies will be stunned when they run in, so use them for slowing pushes instead. Trust me. Now, onto her ultimate ability, and probably the coolest ability in the game, is called Annihilation. Basically, equip a nanovire accelerator, fire to unleash a pulse of nanowires that captures the first enemy contacted. The concluded enemy is pulled along a nanowire path and will die if they reach the end, unless they're freed. The nanowire cocoon is destructible. This is probably the coolest thing in the game. I mean, you can just take a look at it here.
Nothing there. Ultimate ready. Reeling them in.
Basically, the ultimate shoots out a thick cylinder with a spear at the end, where anything in between or in the spear gets cocooned. However, it can only capture one person. Otherwise, it will be stupidly broken. And it catches the enemy that's the nearest to you. The only way to get out of the cocoon is if anyone else shoots you out of it. So you can't do anything if you're in a 1v1 situation. Pretty much. You're just dead. Unless it bugs though.
Reeling them in.
Nice!
One enemy remaining.
Yeah.
Wait, why are you stuck?
Why are you stuck?
Wait, what? Oh, step, bro.
Wait, what? It has about 300 HP, so it will take roughly 7 to 8 vandal bullets to break 3. The cool thing about this ult is you can bounce it off of walls and other map geometry, meaning you can make some very safe plays if you bounce it correctly. Bouncing it off ceilings as well will be incredibly good, as you can just peek off it because the enemies will aim up into the air to try to save their teammate. Another really OP thing you can do is you can bounce the ultimate off the map. Yes, off the map. This means that they will be dragged off of the map and then back into it again. This can be really good as the enemies will have a hard-ass time to save their teammates because you have to shoot outside the map to hit the cocoon. Now, you guys are probably like, can the sage wall stop it? Or can I body block it? Well, the short answer is no. For sage walls, it either goes over it or to the side of it. Now, as for body blocking, it looks like you can stop it for a few seconds as it stands completely still. However, after a couple of seconds, it will speed back up and go to the position it was supposed to be if you didn't body block it. Now, please don't insta-use this ult at the start of the round. Think of it similar to how you would use a gecko ult. It gets better the less people are on the map. So use it primarily if you're certain there won't be enough enemies to shoot it down. Unless you want to be a Giga Chad and bait the person in the cocoon by waiting for his teammate to shoot it and then kill the person trying to save his teammate. Like in this clip. Now, how should you play her? Well, her playstyle would be kind of similar to Sage, although a bit faster. Basically, think of her like a battle Sage with Cypher mixed in. Use the walls to quickly stop enemies and use the grenade if you want to aggressively peek someone. Although be careful to aim at a crouched opponent and not a standing one. Other than that, you're free to roam in between sites. However, try not to go overboard on this, but her traps do not have any range where they deactivate. So good luck.